Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you one of my absolute favorite ways to enjoy old fish. So I'm using this fish here, which is super common in Nigeria. We call it croaker. I bought this one from my local Asian market. It's sold as yellow croaker, and I think the fish itself was about maybe $15 or thereabout. I had to descale it because it came whole with scale. It was frozen, and what I did was, this is a trick that I apply to all of my fish dishes, just to remove that fishiness that comes from fish. I soaked this in salted water, which I added a bit of lemon to, and I soaked it for about 4 hours, which is like a good medium. So about 4 hours, 6 hours is good as well. And all I'm going to be doing right now is just removing that fish from the salted water, and I'm just going to be placing it here. And my goal now is to take away all of the moisture that is in the fish before I season it. Remember, I already salted it. I already salted the water, so there's going to be a bit of salt in the fish already. So just be conscious of that so that you don't go in aggressively with salt and your fish then becomes too salty. So I'm just drying it up just to get most of the moisture. Sorry, I got some of my pepper in my paper towel. But again, what I'm trying to do is just take out most of the water that is in the fish. And see, there was quite a bit of water in the belly of the fish, and I'm just taking out all of that moisture just so that I have fish that is dry and I can then season as I like. When I'm doing fish, I don't like to complicate things, so I like to put in some ginger for sure. I like ginger, fresh or dry, it's fine. I use fresh ginger. I use either chipotle pepper or smoked paprika just for that smoky flavor. Maggi and salt. That's it. That's all I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be cutting the fish and then I'm going to be putting my spices on. So now I'm just going in with my ginger and smoked pepper. Because again, I'm using some smoked chipotle here, but you can definitely use some smoked paprika as well. I'm adding Maggi, and then I'm going to add in a bit of salt. A bit. And I'm going to use this much salt for both sides. So I'm going to do that on one side, rub it in, just get things in there, and then I'm going to season it on the other side as well. Starting with my salt this time, season the inside, then I'm going to get more of my spice mix in on the fish, in the fish too, and then I'm going to add in a bit of crushed Maggi, which is what I have in here. Well, and then I'm just going to rub that in. So that is that for the fish. I have everything that I need on it, and then we get to the cooking part. For the cooking part, I'm going to be using some mixed peppers. I'm definitely going to be adding in a bit of stew base just so there's sauciness in the fish, but the fish is good to go. I put out a non-stick pan, which I highly recommend, and I heated some oil. Now I'm just trying to brown the meat. So it's not like I'm trying to really get the fish to cook through. I really just want like crispy skin on both sides. So I'm going to cook one side, and once that is done, I'm just going to flip it, and I'm using very high heat, which I highly recommend because that's kind of the best way to get it to crisp up. Remember, this isn't cooking it through, it's really just getting it kind of like brown so the flavor is locked in better. And now that that is done, I'm adding in the chopped peppers. And then I added in some of the stew base, just a little bit, and then I'm adding in a little bit of Maggi and salt as well. I'm going to combine this and just leave it to cook for a little bit. You can add a little bit of water to loosen this up a bit, but that is really that simple. Once it is cooked, you just go on and add it onto the fish. So I'm just placing the already set fish on, and then I'm going to add the sauce on. So the sauce that we just made, I'm going to add that on. Just pour it on. You just want to marry the fish with the sauce, and then you want to cover this and allow the fish to steam and take in some of that sauce for about 10 minutes. Because my grill pan is an irregular shape, I'm just using foil. If you're using like a pot with a good lid, you can use that as well. But I'm just using foil as like a barrier for my steaming action. And 10 minutes later, this is where we're at. Doesn't it look delicious? And that is that peppered whole fish. You can also use tilapia or any other kinds of fish that you enjoy. Croaker is one of my absolute favorite for this kind of cooking. Enjoy! Let me know what you think, like, and subscribe.